Good evening. My name is Salud, and tonight I've written another adventure for you. You were a soldier in life and now serve as a bodyguard for the Empress's court necromancer, who adores you. The two of you have left the palace and are traveling in search of something special. I'm sorry to ask this, but about half the people who listen to my audios aren't subscribed to my channel. If you enjoy the sound of my voice, would you please consider sharing your time with me again by subscribing and ringing the bell? Thank you. Let's begin. The further south you travel, the brighter the sun shines. You and your necromancer roll through the country by carriage. The horses she raised carry you tirelessly through green hillsides. Hours and days melt away to the sound of carriage wheels, and one day you make a stop at a remote cottage. The front garden is filled with black flowers, and when you see coffins stacked neatly by the side of the house, you realize another necromancer lives here. The other necromancer has a soft voice, and she introduces herself to you as Sophia the Charmed. She wears a wide sun hat dotted with Gerber daisies, and the three of you take afternoon tea in her garden. You spend your time watching the flowers sway in the wind and trying not to smile when you see your necromancer hold her teacup in both hands. As you leave, Sophia discreetly hands you a piece of paper. You tuck it into your pocket, assuming it must be a seed packet or recipe for the tea. When you help your necromancer back into the carriage, she closes the door with more force than is necessary. The carriage wheels begin to move, and she crosses her arms as Sophia's cottage grows smaller in the distance. Can you believe her? The audacity! I was just being kind. I know Sophie gets lonely out here in the middle of nowhere. I even brought her chocolates from the capital. And how does she repay me? Ugh! Unbelievable. What? You didn't notice? She was oogling you. Oh, come on. You weren't raised yesterday when she asked you to fetch the sugar and then had to feel your muscles after. The way she admired your cape by touching it. And how she made a point to say having someone strong like you around would make her feel safe. I mean, you do make me feel safe. That's your thing. That's why you're my bodyguard. But it's entirely different when she says it. The roof of her little cottage is made of straw. I should have lit a pipe and let a few sparks fly in the wind. That would have shown her. Oh, don't look at me like that. You're your own person. Necromancy isn't ownership. You could go off and become a tremendously successful mercenary or bodyguard for someone else. But you know how much I adore you. I don't mean to sound possessive. The thought of some other necromancer trying to scoop you up, it just burns me. She lives this boring life in the country, charging an arm and a leg, not a literal arm and a leg, mind you, for her raisings since she's the only necromancer around for miles. Unless you're a good-looking lumberjack who was felled by a tree or a bear, then of course the raising is on the house. If only you'd keep her company for a few days and help her sod her garden. Well, I'll have you know it would be a boring life. There would be no adventures with Sophie, no political intrigue at the palace, no dragon eggs to carry down mountains to the Empress. You're nodding. In agreement. Of course you are. Gods, I was preaching to the choir, wasn't I? You're so skilled. Of course you have a taste for adventure. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate quiet tea parties in the country, but I couldn't bear a lifetime composed of them. Maybe once I am very old and my bones are brittle, then I'll retire somewhere quiet. But as it stands, I have too much to do. We're in a very important position, you know. We're helping the Empress shape the Empire. Not many can claim to do that. And when we get back to the palace, hopefully the headmaster will have weighed in on that dragon egg situation. We could be the first people to see a dragon in centuries. Would you help me raise it when the time comes? I always feel so safe when you're near. If you held my hand during the raising, I'm sure you would help. You'd be like an anchor, making sure I don't get lost adrift at sea. I'm getting sentimental on you, aren't I? Well, can you blame me? I found such spectacular company in you, my darling. And I don't mean just because you let me do most of the talking, though I do appreciate that. This trip has felt more like a vacation, if I'm being honest. The ruins we're traveling to? Yes, we're getting close. We should only be a day or so away now. It's quite exciting. I know we'd get there faster if we stopped for less picnics in the sunshine, but I want to take advantage of the nice weather. I hope your sword arm is ready for when we get there. I suspect what I'm looking for won't be surrendered without a fight. See? I celebrate your talent for warplay. Sophia would only... What? She slipped something to you before we left? A piece of paper. May I see it? This is a contract. Oh, how dare she? How dare she? Turn the carriage around. I am going to give her a piece of my mind. I was very good with a spear when I was at school. No, don't try to stop me. Oh. And suddenly all my anger vanishes in the wake of your embrace. Thank you, darling. I am so fond of these carriage hugs. They take me back to when I first raised you and brought you home to the palace. All right. I won't turn the carriage around and light her roof on fire. Will you hold me for a little longer, though? Please? What's that? You're going to throw the contract away? You're too good to me, my darling. Thank you. I can't wait until we reach the ruins. If I'm right, it could change everything. Not just for the Empire, but for us. I didn't tell you, but this whole trip is for you. But I'll tell you more when we get there. Please, just hold me close for a moment. I want to forget all about Sophia and my silly jealousy. Thank you. The end. Thank you for listening to my story and for giving me a reason to write it. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you can be notified when I've written another adventure for you. I appreciate you sharing your time with me, but if you're hearing me now, I'm sorry you're still awake. Do you think another story would help? I'll leave 2 linked afterwards that I think you might enjoy. Until next time, please rest well. Good night.